G'day guys, Josh here. Welcome to Path of Exile Compendium Part 6. And now we're just going after, after Brutus. So we killed Brutus in the Prisoner's Gate. And now we're going to go and do more of the side quests in particular. So just a quick update on the quest log as well. We've still got the Sirens Condensed, we've got the Way Forward, the Maroon Mariner, which is about the graveyard. And, still got a few mobs to kill as well, which I'm still using Spark for. Still got a few other quests as well that we're going to be basically doing along the way. I believe we're going to do the Maroon Mariner, which is going to go to the All-Light. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and find the All-Light, or Allflame, sorry. Now, I did get a new aura, which I may set up shortly, which is, I believe, Precision. But we just clear the slot and just set it up here. So with the ship graveyard cave, you're going to go in here to find the Allflame, basically. Now, meanwhile, while we wait, I'm just going to see what we should be going into at the moment. Okay. Have we got... Okay, we haven't got this yet, so we need to go into that. Okay, cool. So this gives us a bit of extra casting speed, which is very, very important. Casting speed is actually one of your best DPS things later on, when your stuff is all scaled up and does a lot of damage. Because you want to put a lot more sparks and arcs out there, basically. And that's what you want to do. Now you can see the triple links that some of them I am looting. They can be quite good a bit later on as well. Because having like a triple link is very, very helpful. But even though it's red, like I say, it's not probably good because it's red, but it can be helpful later on. Now we'll probably get to the Allspark. It does take a while to get to the Allspark. You do have to clear a lot out. You notice a lot with these sort of dungeons, like later on with Path of Exile, that they get longer and bigger. Like in particular, like I say, the difference between Act 5 and Act 10 is immense, like on how big Act 10 is compared to Act 5, even though in the same place. So you understand that as well. And we're still in Act 1, by the way. Okay, we're almost towards the end of Act 1. So we found the Allflame, which is on a slave guild, basically. And you do have a person you have to defeat, another boss. As per usual, all these bosses with tentacles and stuff like that. Of course. So we should look at some of these as well. Tentacles aren't killable, by the way. So there's the Allflame. We're going to head on out. So exiting the ship graveyard cave actually ends up in the same area. So basically just go back out in the same way that you came back in. Don't worry about TPing here. TPing here is not really worth it. Oh, I didn't even see that actually. I better pick that up, eh? You do want to upgrade your potions here. Later on, like, upgrading your potions doesn't become super, super duper important. And mainly because the fact that, like, the potion upgrades don't happen, like, every few seconds. Like, they are happening now, where you go from, like, small, medium, large in one act. Later on, they just, like, pace themselves out. Like, let's just say from Act 5 onwards, you don't get many upgrades to your potions. So Fairgraves basically betrays you here, by the way. So he summons dudes, and you just have to kill them with Spark. Okay, Spark's probably a really, really powerful build. And all the storms do, will just basically kill everything. All the storms actually very, very strong. You do replace all the storms later with another ability. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Lion's Eye Watch. You can use the town portal, as you can use the login logout method if you want as well. And we're going to go back to Bestel. Now, the reason why you want to do a lot of these side quests is that you can get passive points from this as well. Okay, so this is very important you get a passive point, because this means we can go further into our tree and pick up nimbleness. Now you may notice that, we've done level 15, so this is what you should be looking at your passives for level 15 on Pobbins. Now you want to change this to level 28, okay, because now you've got your respective parts of the tree and whatnot. Now you want to go to page 28. Also, not to mention as well, look at the Cobalt Jewel that appeared. So jewels are features where you can socket them into passive slots, and they give you certain stats. So for example, if we put this into a passive slot, this Cobalt Jewel, we'll get 15% extra critical strike multiplier and 6% increased life. You don't need to get that jewel if you don't need it, but you know what the stats you get aim for. So if you see a max life gem, you want to put it in there. If you see a crit strike multiplier gem, you want to put it in there. And that's pretty much it. So now you know from onwards where you need to go after getting your first initial 15 points. Now we're back on the road again. So So pretty much if you've looted anything, you want to pick it up and vendor it. So you can see here, like a lot of these things, I guess they aren't that great. This one's going to get me a chromatic. We're going to see what the chain finger is. Do we get anything from it? Probably not. We're going to sell all these items to Nessa basically as well. So the next part here is we're going to try and exit the ship graveyard, which I'm going to say we're very fortunate. Unless there's Prisoner's Gate, which we don't want to exit via that. We want to exit via another exit to get to Merveil's Cave. Now, Merveil's Cave is practically the end of the act. So we're getting close to Merveil's Cavern. There are some things in this game where the exits at certain points. For Act 1, there's not really many things to do with that. So we're going to go into the Caverns of Wrath, where what I mean is that the exit will be in certain areas. Now, once again, this game does hold your hand quite a bit, and they're like, go talk to Nessa. So just got to be realized at the same time, guys, that this game, and Act 1 in particular, will always get you going back to the town. But just an FYI, by the way, it doesn't mean the next act won't hold your hand too much. So pretty much you get the new spells here as well, and this is where you normally get Arc. So you can see here, we can get Arc. I actually kind of lied. I thought I got Arc in a certain different act, and this is where we're going to switch our thingos out. So we're going to switch to Arc. So at the moment, peer support and stuff like that really doesn't help us at all with Arc. You also want to change your setups as well. You want to change your gems. So let's just go to here. So in particular, so what we want to look for is we want to look for Inspiration, which we may not have yet. We're just going to double check, which we don't have. So we can't use that yet. And we want to use Increased Critical Strikes, because that's what it says in our build. We also do have Stormcall as well. You do want to pick up Stormcall, so we're going to pick it up right now. And also going to pick up Increased Critical Strike supports, okay? Now the other one we're going to have is got Power Charge on Critical. I do not believe we have Power Charge on Critical as of yet. So we're not going to be able to do that. So what we're going to be able to level up is just Increased Critical Strike support and put that on. Now, Stormcall is a brand. Basically what you want to do is you want to put Stormcall onto something else as well. Preferably, since you can get rid of Orb of Storms to put it up, because Arc is not going to use Orb of Storms anymore, because you're not going to be basically dropping a thing down. You want to probably put a Stormcall instead of Stormcall in there, and with Stormcall you want to put Increased Critical Strike damage. Now also as well, you won't get the exact gems, but when you do pick up the certain one, just put it in there. And since we can't get Increased Critical Strike damage without going onto my main, we're going to put something else we're going to leave. Actually, no, we'll put added lightning damage in the meantime. So now we've got the Arc build. So our build is going to be a bit different. Now, I didn't get Vaal Arc, but we do need Vaal Arc a bit later. So with Arc, basically it's a little lightning thing and just basically chain everywhere. Just an FYI, all these treasure chests will get you to be zapped or to be attacked by other people. Passives from it. Anyways, we're going to get to the end of Merveil's Cavern, so we can get to Merveil, the act boss of Act 1, and then get into Act 2. So just to add a note, why is Arc so strong? Okay, so Arc is a very, very strong build, used to be a very strong build, because basically it used to chain to multiple different people. Now with a lot of the lightning builds, especially Spark and whatnot, it didn't go directly to an enemy. So you can see here that my Arc just chains on like madness, okay? But the weakness of Spark in particular is that Sparks, as you may have noticed during these videos, is that my Sparks don't always hit the mobs. Okay, if you may have noticed. And to hit the mobs directly, sometimes I have to move closer and stuff like that, instead of being able to sit here and let my boy do the work, basically. So that's why Arc is kind of a stronger build, is that you can just basically spam it, and it will chain on to any mobs behind it. And it just gets better as it goes along, especially if it crits as well. You can basically annihilate a few mobs by just getting crits on all of them before they can even touch you. And that's the main strength of an Arc build. Now, during this process, I did get a level, and now I'm just going to be looking into what area should I go into next. Whether should I get survivability, or should I go up into this tree in particular to get the more spell crit chance? I'm just going to go more of the offensive area. I'm trying to get to this basic jewel socket right away, so I can put like a dot enchant there as well. Just be aware, we are going to go for some more max life as well in the future as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up here to here, get the crit chance, and just keep going up to get that jewel socket. So I've got into this as well. This is a Vaal dungeon where there's additional afflictions or afflictions that you must deal with. So a Vaal Dungeon allows you to get Vaal skill gems, okay? And we do need these Vaal skill gems as Vaal Arc is very, very important to our build. Now, obviously, this Affliction is obviously probably one of the sucky ones. Just an FYI, as you may have noticed, is they are strong against us, okay? They are strong against lightning. They have 30% lightning resistance, which probably doesn't really seem much given that I'm still just tearing them apart, and, you know, Arc does what Arc does best and kills them all. So this is a small dungeon where it has a few mobs, and it also has a named mob at the end of it that you kill. And also, when you kill a named mob, a vessel opens. Now, if you want to indicate where this mob could be, there's generally a book where the there's generally a book on the minimap, and the Vaal vessel's generally nearby. So if you see a book on the map, you want to kind of head there. If you don't see a book on the map, then you probably don't want to go head there. As you can see here in particular, there is a book here. We're going to go to it, and we're going to kill the mob to get the Vaal gem, basically. So you can see here, there's a mini boss, Mother of the Hive, just spamming Stormcore as well as Arc. And, oh, actually got a really good plate vest. So, oh, it's 2 bread, sorry. For some reason that was, you know, not as high. So the Vaal vessel will contain stuff in it. So there can be some good things, like, you know, Vaal Venom Guy could be good for another build. But also it contains some corrupted loot as well. So you can see here, corrupted loot is generally a lot stronger than normal loot. The main reason for that is because the corrupted loot can have extra stats. As you can see, there's 7 modifiers on it. But the problem is you can't change it, okay? You can't change any of those stats. So this is Merveil's lair, which you get to see the boss. Basically, it's all treasure, but it's all fake. So Merveil will reveal herself, okay? So Merveil has a lot of moves, especially the little fire fish one. Or I call it a fish line. She's an ice caster. You gotta be very, very careful with her because she can kill you quite quickly with that ice caster ability, as you can see here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep moving left and moving right. She does cast quite quickly, so if you're a melee class, you're gonna get hit by it. Also, she has a blizzard, and she will also teleport to you as well. She also spawn adds as well, which you can just basically dispose of with Arc, because Arc is stupidly strong. I believe they do drain your mana too, so you gotta be very, very careful. So spamming Arc will just do enough damage to all of them. You can even just DPS Merveil. So either way, like most of your stuff will be handled by the ads. Merveil does have an energy shield. She has to have a lot of it, so you probably want to kill her first. She will die and change into a siren, okay? Obviously the gold was fake. And then she'll change into a siren form. Now, basically what you need to watch out for is you also need to watch out for the little tornadoes that she summons. Now, it's also very, very difficult to dodge her attacks now. So you just got to watch out for tornadoes and watch out for her little things that she launches. She does have other attacks as well, like a giant wave attack. She also summons ads, which are now no longer like ladies. They are little squid people. Now, by the way, if you do get hit by a ball or by a wave, you get frozen, which means you can't move so much. God damn it. Don't get caught in that, by the way. Getting caught in the wave is bad, as you saw there. Like, really, really bad. Just keep casting, keep moving. If you keep maintaining your range, you should be fine at this point. If you're a melee class stud, like, this sucks for you, because you aren't going to get hit. You just gotta make sure you can stomach the blows. There we go. And that is, obviously, Merveil done. And we can get to Act 2. Now, you may have seen a unique that dropped. Most of the uniques are not really that great, in particular, but it can also help out early on. So you can see, in particular, this unique is not really that good. I just generally just vendor it. Now with the belt, we've got a bit of an upgrade here. The belt, as you can see here, it's actually pretty decent. So we're going to put that on there as well. We're going to check the rest of it. Any good upgrades? Probably not. Most of these ones that you have here, not that great. This is actually really, really good for a ranger. The main reason why is that one-socketed bow gems is actually very, very strong. So it's one of the strongest DPS gems that you can, DPS stats you can get on a weapon or armor or anything like that is generally level of socketed bow gems or socketed gems in particular. So those are things you want to take an eye out and want to look out for as well. So we're going to go to Act 2, which is the Southern Forest, and we're going to end this compendium at the town, regardless if it's like 20 minutes or not. Now, with this area as well, you do immediately get a waypoint. So you do immediately get a waypoint. However, you need to get to the next encampment, okay? So they make sure that you're able to get to the next act and have a waypoint there, but you want to get to the next base, because basically you want to start up, you know, where you're going to go next, okay? Okay, so this is the new encampment. So basically, kind of like Diablo 2 and various other ARPGs, you go to a new encampment. So here, basically you go to Act 2, and this is the forest encampment. You'll get quests from these guys, okay? So pretty much as well with Yena, you can only buy her ability gems when you do these quests. So also Silk as well gives you a quest to open up the area. So this brings the way forward further. But this is your new camp basically, okay, for the future. Your new camp for the future. And we're going to get this last passive point done before we go. And thank you guys for joining me for another episode of the Compendium. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.